have Fly Away Home. Who remembers the name of the main character in Fly Away Home? Let's hear from Carrie.
Andrew.
Andrew. And so here are some key words to help you remind you about what happened in Fly Away Home. So we have homeless, community, hope, caged bird, there. One green apple. Who remembers the main character in One Green Apple? Naimbi. Who's the main character? Farrah. Her name is Farrah. So here are some things we talked about in One Green Apple. Two more. The story of Ruby Bridges. This one's a little easy. I should see everyone's hand. Who is the main character in the story of Ruby Bridges? Yeah, great. I have everyone's hand. Yolexi, who is the main character?
Ruby.
Excellent. Ruby. Ruby Bridges. In the story of Ruby Bridges. So we talked about integration, impact, courage. And then the Band of Angels. Who remembers the main character? And thank you guys for raising your hand. You're doing a really good job of not blurting out. Miss Hillmeyer would be proud. Tia. Ella. Ella is the main character. So now that we have all of the books and the main characters on the screen, I'm going to give you guys 20 silent seconds to think about who you want to choose as your hero. Yes, Natalia. It is totally okay if you pick the same one, because you should be, when choosing your hero, you can think about a couple different things. You can think about what your favorite book was, and maybe that's why you want to choose one of these main characters as your hero. You can also think about the character who you think you have the most in common with. There are a bunch of different ways. Tell me.
What if you have two choices, but I can't decide?
That's why I'm giving you 20 seconds to decide. So I'm giving you 20 seconds to think about it. So when I say go, you're going to silently think about who you want to choose as your hero. Go. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Bum, bum.
All right, remember when we make that noise, we make sure that we're sitting up straight and our eyes are tracking the speaker. Pencils down. Let's do that again. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Bum, bum.
All right, awesome. Keep your eyes on that. Okay, so who can raise their hand if they, so I'm going to ask you guys who you chose as your main character. Raise your hand if you chose Trisha as your hero. Did anyone choose Trisha? No one chose Trisha?
No.
That's okay, you can choose who you want to choose. What about Andrew? No Andrews. What about Farrah?
Well,
Miss Saul chose
I would
Farrah.
have been fair.
Yeah. Okay, what about Ruby? I knew we were going to have a lot of hands here. All right, so we have 4 that are going to do Ruby. What about Ella? All right, we have 4 doing Ella. Then did everyone choose?
no.
Carrie, did you choose? Well, you have to choose one. Who do you think it's going to be? If I were you, I would choose one that not everyone else isn't doing. We have a lot of Rubies and a lot of Ellas.
I'm going to one Farrah. So I'll choose
All right, if you have something to say, make sure you raise your hand. Ella? Okay. So, now that you've chosen your hero, your main character, yes, Asaf.
I'll choose Trisha.
Awesome! Thank you for going a little outside the box and choosing Trisha. We're going to give a dojo point for Asaf for doing something on her own. Doing a character by herself. Yes, Naomi?
Dallas had a question.
Dallas, what's your question? Yes, you can do Andrew. Awesome. I like that we have a variety now. David?
I just thought to myself, I could pick Ruby because people are being mean to her because she's black.
Yeah, David, I think that's really great that you chose Ruby. And like I said before, your hero can be something you can have in common with your hero, or it can be your favorite story. So I think it's great that you chose Ruby. And I think it's great that all of you chose Ruby, Ella, Andrew, and Farrah. Carrie.
I would choose Farrah, actually.
Awesome. All right, cool.
Oh,
You're choosing Farrah. Yeah. Okay, so now we can get started on our activity, which I think is going to be really fun. So we're going to change gears a little bit. I'm going to give you a sheet that looks like this. Mine's already filled out. We're going to have a sheet that looks like this. Let me move all this stuff. Okay. So it says, let's read this together. Character traits. Let's do it again. Character traits. Text evidence. Again.
Text evidence.
So first, I'm going to fold mine in half. I'm going to only look at the text evidence. So I actually didn't choose the story from the stories that we read because I wanted you guys to find your own examples. So I'm talking about the Little Red Riding Hood. Raise your hand if you know the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, great. So here's some things that I remember from the story that Little Red Riding Hood did. So I remember that she tricked the wolf, she finds her way through the forest, she saves her grandma, and she goes into the woods. And so now that I have that text evidence, I'm then going to go to the other side and think about the character traits that match what she did in the story. So because she tricked the wolf, I think that she's clever. So I wrote down clever. She finds her way through the woods. That means she's smart because she navigated and found her way to her grandma's house by herself. She saves her grandma, which I think means that she cares about her family. So these are words that describe Little Red Riding Hood. And she goes into the woods. And so because she goes into the woods by herself, she's not only smart, but she's also adventurous. Yes, Natalia.
Something, you know how some people chose, maybe the people that
Eyes tracking Natalia.
chose this maybe all people like Ella can help each other walk the
That actually is a good idea. That's a great idea. So maybe if you chose Ruby and Ella, we can have you go to different tables so you can help yourself each other with the text evidence.
If someone like